Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Trading Brains podcast. I'm your host, Edgar. I'm here with our co-host, Angelo Messina.
Hey guys, how's everything?
Yeah, I'm sure they're all doing well. Too bad they can't respond to us. Uh,
Yeah, no, right?
yeah. So
Make
last episode we spoke about music again, just talking about artists, contemporary artists who we're interested in. And yeah, that was a topic we covered already, but you know, you can always continue talking about music. It's such a broad field.
yeah,
And today we're going to talk about another topic that we have covered previously, but there's been some developments in the arena of foot golf, and so Angela is just going to take us on a tour through the current goings on and upcoming events for foot golf. And I'm going to have my own input here and there, maybe just comment or ask questions about what's going on.
it's new. It's still fairly new compared to other sports, but like if people who this is their first time listening or they still don't know, basically foot golf is soccer and golf, or you hit a soccer ball on a golf field on a golf course, and basically trying to hit it in like the least amount of strokes as possible. It's I kind of fell in love with it a couple years back, and this year I went to the U.S. Open. Last time we talked about that was around in May, and they just had the U.S. National Championships in Virginia, and a lot why I'm bringing that such making it such an importance is like so Footgolf has made it into a sense of having World Cups or international friendlies or international tournaments. And the top four Americans in this tournament in the U.S. National Championship will go represent the Team USA for the Janssen Cup, which is a tournament in England that USA and the UK will go against. And they finalize their teams. Um, Team USA and then the UK as well. And a lot of people who I played that I know made it, and I'm really happy for them. Like let's just like I have the list here, but like some like my buddy that lives in Patchogue area that plays on my club in Skyline and Long Island, Ryan Hartman. He had been there since the World Cup in Morocco last year, and this year this is going to be the team. So he's with Nate Chewy, Maryland born. He's top five in the country, and Sharif Khabib. He's the captain, and he have won the U.S. Open in May. So those two are like phenomenal players that I've been playing with, different caliber. And I was kind of just different caliber how they play, like very calm, composed. They know what kind of shot they need to make and how to make it consistently, and being more consistent, getting either bogey free for the whole entire day, or just basically getting birdies and pars when they need it, and sacrifice a bogey here and there, and just be really smart throughout the whole day.
Hmm.
Um, and then, but this is actually pretty interesting because Maryland they're on a rise on trying to get more people to come more competitively, and this is a great way because they have, let's say, Nate Chewy. I don't know, I'm just going to say names. Not a lot of people is going to know, but it's Nate Chewy, Sebastian Moorfield, um, Steve Liberto, David Antler, and Laura Parker are all, and Laura's there's the females as well, but they also that's like five people from Maryland that's on the American national team. That's great because like one is the East Coast team that's trying to pull their weight on the East Coast, trying to compete against the West Coast people, which they had like six teams out there. And this is a great way to show people that the East Coast can play.
Hmm.
Um, and then also like Ryan Hartman, he's from the East Coast, he's from New York. Hopefully I could get there next year. And David Andler, he plays in the senior division, and he won the senior division in the national championship, which is also fantastic because that was the first American to win that one as well as Sharif Karib. He won the U.S. Open and being the first American to win that one. So this team right here, majority of it is going to be they're in. This is like how the team. I could go on, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave it
Yeah.
be. Um, but like so, like this team against they're going to have the UK Open in September, and then after the UK Open, they're going to have the Janssen Cup, which is going to be against the Team USA and Team UK. While the Team UK has a couple of really good people, and when I say really good, like top in the world, they travel around in Europe, maybe in like Asian countries as well for their opens and competing for the world tour. And Ben Clark, um, let's say Ben Clark, Ian Schutz, and Sophie Brown. I'm just going to say those three because those three travel together, and I met them during the U.S. Open, and they're fantastic lads, fantastic guys and lady. Um, to be like to play around consistently, go around the world, and they're minimum top 10 every time they play.
So they were traveling in the U.S.
They traveled in the U.S. They did the U.S. Open in May.
Okay.
Ben Clark, he came in third or second, and Liam came like top 5 as well. Sophie won the female division, and like by like I think 5 strokes to be honest. And they're all in the UK team, and when they go compete, they come top 5, all 3 of them. Sophie Brown will win it more, but like Sophie Brown won, like it's Ben Clark is just another beast. He's 6'4". I'm not gonna say the weight because I don't know the weight to be exact, but like he's a big guy that can really send the ball more than 70 yards out and get that constant motion after to get that extra 20 yards if needed, and just basically just really clinical in the putting range as well. Sophie Brown, she's great in the sense of like really smart and tactical. During on the hills, I've watched her in the U.S. Open, and it's sometimes like more in the fact of like how did she read that line? Like I don't know how. Like I wouldn't have read that line if she made that shot. Like if I was looking to make that approach, and
Yeah, I
she
mean,
just
like,
sees it
do
differently.
people use any sort of like devices like binoculars or anything like that, or is that
There's
even
like a
like
rate there.
allowed, or
No, yeah, there it is allowed. They have like it's like kind of like a
those
mono.
pirate telescopes?
Yeah, it's like that, but it's like not big. It's not big. It's like kind of like a handheld one, and it tells you how many meters or yards you're away from the hole.
Okay.
And that's basically to show you like okay how like if you know how far you could kick,
Right.
that basically can like okay then
Yeah.
I
Well, because
really
eventually, if you kick enough, you can tell how much power is how many meters you're kicking.
exactly.
So, yeah.
Um,
Could you lower
but
your camera a little bit?
huh?
Can you lower your camera a little bit? Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
So so like David Andler, he's a senior in Maryland. He uses one of those rangefinders, and he likes it. And I know people have rituals and people use it like people like will swing their legs before um or legit some people will lay on the ground to look at the line, to look at the field if there's any bumps, if there are any hills
Hmm.
coming up.
Right.
um a lot of people would try to do that or like kind of calm themselves down before they hit because they want to play more calmer. But going back, it's just like
Well, isn't it like if you have a lower heart rate, your sudden movements are decreased, like your involuntary movements are decreased?
yes,
It's like when somebody shoots, they always want to take a breath, and then as they're releasing their breath, it lowers their heart rate, and that way their shot is more accurate. So,
yeah. So
similar.
like or like they try to like loosen up because like hit like an 18 hole depends on how big the course is. Your legs get tired.
I
Um,
bet, and like you're walking to each hole, and
yeah, like sometimes you could use your cart and then drive up, but like sometimes like some people like take a shot and it's like, okay, I'm gonna walk to my ball because like I just want to see how the field looks or whatever. Different view.
Mhm.
So no, but like it's just more in the fact of like when and there's like little like rules that people need to understand on like with the ball or the field or course or like what they do. It's just like little nitpicky. Like when if my ball is in front of your ball, I will ask you to mark it and you have to mark it a certain way. And it's like so you have a marker, you put the marker down, then you're allowed to grab the ball. But you cannot put the
Your ball?
marker and grab the ball at the same time.
Okay.
And a marker, let's just say, it's like a poker chip in a sense. Anything to mark your ball, like your spot.
So if it's their turn to kick their ball and your ball is in front of it, like
Yes,
between the post and their
yes.
ball, then they put a marker down and then.
And it has to be like a certain amount of yards away from the hole. But a lot of people are like, it's like eloquent. It's like kind of like not common sense, but more like respect. It's like, hey, can
Well,
you
it's
mark it?
just
You could say no if it's far away.
right.
But if it's like close, like if when you're in
For the
the
most
green,
part.
you have to, no matter what, you have to mark it.
Okay.
Because if you don't leave it, that's a stroke for you and the other guy. Because you're basically it's either that you ruin the shot or like you ruin that putt for that person, or you made that shot so much easier for that person. Like it could hit your ball ricocheted and then go in the hole, and he
Right.
got like an eagle on that hole because he hit your ball.
Okay. So
Or
like he could say, yeah, I'm not aiming for his ball, but then he's trying to get a ricochet off, and yeah, okay.
it basically like he hit the ball and legitimate goes to the bunker, made his shot so much harder, and be like, what the hell? So,
Okay.
but going back, so with these two teams, like these two teams, Team USA and Team UK, or they do this tournament. I think the first one was 2015, and it just now they do it every other year. Right before, so it's like a pre-tournament for next year's World Cup, and the World Cup is going to be in Japan.
Woo.
Um,
Hmm.
and
Is
that's
is Team UK older than Team USA?
um, it depends on who. Like that's like legitimately going to stats and see how old they are. Um, I don't know a lot of the people in the UK, but in Team America, they range like the men category. They range anywhere from 23 to 45, 40s,
Hmm.
and then your seniors is 55 plus, and then your females it ranges anywhere.
Oh, that's funny because I didn't I mean that's good information to know, but I wasn't talking about the age of the players. I meant the actual teams themselves.
Oh
Right.
yes,
So
the
like
UK. Yes, okay. In that sense, then yes, the UK has been playing longer because
okay.
um the USA only came about in 2011, and I think the UK came a little bit before that. So, because it started in Holland, in the Netherlands, around
Right. Started in
in
Europe.
the 80s. So it started in Europe. Um, but going back to hopefully playing it in the next year, what my goal is to request a lot of days off and travel in the U.S. and go to the U.S. Open, the U.S. National Championship, the team tournament, and do as much tournaments as I can to show that I am interested to play in the World Cup
Okay.
or
When are
compete.
these? Are these like all year round, different days?
Yeah, different dates. Like if let's just say for example, I would like to do the U.S. Open, the U.S. National Championship, and as well as the team tournament, and those spread out sporadically, but
Hmm.
in like basically a couple of months. And then there's little regional tournaments, and I will have to go to two of each. 4 regional tournaments, I would like to go for them, but it's spread up point wise. So there's 50 points, 100 points, 250, 500, and 1,000.
Hmm.
And the more like regionals are like 150. So I'm trying to figure out something in New Jersey, and of course I have really good Crystal Springs, and so hopefully that works out.
Do you
And
get
then
like points for participating in events, and then
Yeah,
if you
so like so when you go in the tournament, it's like let's just say it's 100 points, right? So the max amount you could get if you win the tournament is 100 points.
Okay.
So after that, then it goes down by I think 7 or 8, depending on how many people are there, and they just divide that equally. To last place gets like 0.
Okay.
Um, so hopefully, like right now, I am currently ranked. I think before I couldn't go to the U.S. National Championship. I was ranked 42nd in the country, in the country.
Hmm.
So that's not terrible. But now I dropped because I didn't show up to that tournament. So I'm probably gonna drop at least a good 10 spots. But it depends on, and then if I make it to the team tournament, that's 250. Hopefully, if I can make that, that's in Cali in November. So hopefully that can work. Well,
Wait, November. What days?
November 9th, I think,
Oh,
that
okay.
weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm
So
coming back.
yeah, but that's when it is. So I would like to go. It's gonna be all the teams that's there. Unfortunately, my team, Skyline, couldn't make it because we couldn't get enough people. We need at least 4 minimum. So I joined Maryland to give them a hand, and as well as I want to play in a
Right.
team.
Yeah.
And then next year, I think we're gonna figure out what our plans for Skyline to have a team for next season.
Yeah, because like you can't play if you're not on a team, right? You can't just go
Well, you
solo.
could play, you do the individual, but that's it. You can't do nothing more else besides that.
So what made you decide not to do individual and then go?
No, you could do individual, and then you also do teams.
Oh, okay.
I go, yeah. So, but you need at least 4 to play, and then, but because there's different style play in the team tournament. So there's best ball. You do alternate shots. Best ball is like if me and you will hit, and my ball is closer to a pin, we'll play off from that ball
Okay.
instead of yours. Or alternate shots means I'll take the first one, you take the second one, I'll take the third one, you take the fourth one.
All right.
So
That's cool. Like there's a bunch of different like rules or play styles.
mhm.
Yeah.
So um so that's why I've been trying to figure out like how we're gonna play. Because when we go there, we're gonna figure it out on what we're gonna do.
You talking about Skyline?
Sorry, Maryland. Because I
Oh,
want to
okay.
see, because they're going to be a lot. I think there's going to be about 8 people going,
Okay.
from my knowledge. So we're going to figure out like lodging situation, how we're going to go out there and play, or who's going to beat who's going to beat the sub, kind of like that. So, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the sub, because since I'm a newcomer,
Right.
so they'll be like,
Do you
whatever.
have to do you have to cover your travel expenses?
Yes. One thing about the sport, it's not professional yet, but since it's not not well known yet, not a lot of people was going to be like, well, who watches it, or who the to the public is not there yet. So it's word of mouth, but it's catching though. I'm really optimistic that in a couple of years that it will push to something. Um, and hopefully I'm in the forefront for it. What else? So, oh yeah, so then another news that the president of the American Footgolf. So there are a couple, Roberto and Lauren Balestrini. Roberto used to be the FIFA or FIFG, the Federation International Footgolf International Federation.
Mm-hmm.
No, Federation International Footgolf. There we go. He used to be the president, but he stepped down because it's a lot of work dealing with the homebound and as well as internationally about the world. So there's a new president, and to be honest, I forgot his name. But I know he's from Hungary, and I
We're talking
think
about the current president.
yeah, the current president.
Okay. Okay.
Um, sorry.
Gabor Gillens here.
Yeah, that's
I'm reading his name.
the bar.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, Gabor Gillens.
he's the Association of Hungary.
Right. Yeah. They're talking about Hungary here.
Mhm. So he stepped up and now he took the role as the Fiji.
So he has to grow it worldwide, right? Instead of
Yes.
just focusing on
Mhm.
Europe. He's
So
saying,
yeah, Roberto's going to be in the committee, as well for the international sense, and help out as an advisor for the new president to grow the sport. But Roberto wants to more grow the American sport because they want to make it as professional as it could be, and more people and trying to get more people to play. And then Lauren, his wife is the president of the American, like co-president, but she runs more of the ins and outs about it. And then they have a help called Robert Gear, and he helps with the tournaments director. Like he's a tournament director, sets up the tournaments, what's gonna go, all the itinerary for each players. There's a lot of organization, and they're doing really well, and hopefully that they will continue the sport and trying to reach other places because now like there's a couple more states that are catching this and putting in their golf field and try out the sport and see how the market goes for them. There's a lot of testing the market, and like there's 2 courses on the island, but hopefully they could get more and try to be closer on the island because it's a lot of traveling. Minimum of a big tournament of a regional tournament for me, it's going to be either Maryland, New Jersey, or Michigan and
right.
Florida. Like
So
those
New
are,
Jersey's like your closest.
yeah, like an hour and a half drive to Jersey. But then after that, that's minimum. It'd be nice to have like not a back door, but like you have the national championship is less than an hour of a drive. Like that's perfect, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So
Well, like I don't know, maybe there's ways you can find like cheap flights.
yeah, there's probably going to be either credit cards with points, flight miles, or something, or getting sponsored to play sponsorship.
Yeah, I mean we talked about that on our personal finance episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Points.
So yeah, it all depends on what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it.
You might want to try following like airliners, their official Twitter handles, because they'll give out like flash deals and stuff like that.
On Twitter?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's somebody you have to send that to me, so I'll look into that. Okay. Well, yeah, it's like also like flight, hotel, like right there. That's
you got to cover.
Arranged.
Yeah.
But then you go in there and then going out to eat. What are you gonna do? Meal prep? You could go there and then meal prep, and then you don't have to worry about it. But then that's a lot.
Yeah. Plus, you're staying in like a hotel, so there's not much facility for that.
Oh, it depends on what kind of like it's a resort or like the place that we went to for the U.S. Open. Like we had 2 meals.
Go somewhere with a buffet and just Tupperware that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can't do that. Well, I paid a lot of money, so I am going to do this. Now, but like it's just like when I went to Florida for the U.S. Open, it was more in the fact of like there was 2 meals covered, but I was there from Wednesday to Sunday.
Okay. So
2 meals out of the 4 or 5 days I was there.
That'd be Wednesday, Thursday, right? And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So we ate. We got brunch a couple of times. We got breakfast a couple of times. Sometimes we skip our lunch. Oh no. We got paid lunch. We got like a sandwich and like fruit, snacks, and whatever for our lunch. So basically what we had to really worry about was breakfast and dinner for like 2 of the 3 nights. So it wasn't that bad, but it still adds up.
Yeah.
Like some people have rituals when they go back. Like for me, like my ritual after I play for foot golf in the tournament, like I get a couple, not a couple, but like one or two pints, just calm me down, calm the nerves, and then just analyze from what I did that day and how can I improve, because you play on that same course
Mhm.
next day or two.
I didn't
So
know there were post-game rituals.
a
I thought
lot.
it was
Well,
just like
it depends.
analyze how it went.
It
Like, of
is.
course,
It
do
all
that.
depends on each sport does that. Like you play the match and then you look at the videos, or you play the match you don't even worry about it anymore, and then the next couple of days you start watching the videos. Like
Right. Yeah.
um, I'm just planning back in my head, like, okay, from this hole, how could I do this better? And then I had notes from like the practice round, so I had notes what I did, like on the field on each hole. Like there's a hill 50 meters up, so kind of like, okay, next time I try to hit it over here, I went here. Next time, let's go to the right. That actually I can see that being more. If I go over the hill and I like, let's just say the ball just hits over the hill, I'll get another 50 more or 25 more yards closer to the pin than if I went what I did to the left, and trying to like post match and analysis, kind of like, or basically like, okay, do I have to warm up more? Like I felt tight in the morning, so I should like warm up a lot more. Kind of like you become your biggest critic,
Yeah.
and
Of
it makes
course.
you become, in the sense of like trying to analyze. Like I know people warm up, they get there 2 hours before than everyone, and they warm up, warm up, and then like every match they'll swing 5 to 10 times before they hit the ball, and it's either like their drive, their approach shot, or their putting, and they'll just swing their leg 5 6 times
Hmm.
before anything. Or some people like legit lay on the ground, look at it, okay, and then there's a lot of rituals that people become superstitious about, or it comes second nature, because since they've been doing it this whole time, they just create it as a habit.
Right. Well, and a lot of times, like if you do something and then you have a good game or you have a good run or something's going right, and then you do it again, and then you also have another good run and perform well, then yeah, people are gonna tend to do that, even if there's absolutely no connection. People
No,
are just like I don't want to break it. So,
they just it's a direct correlation between the two. It's like, okay, I did this, I hit well, so I'm gonna keep on doing this.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's why like a lot of people like, but like also like with these matches, it's just like when I did my experience from the U.S. Open, and it's fantastic. I'm really upset I couldn't go to the U.S. National Championship, but I will next year. I will definitely make more of an effort to get off of work to go, and as well, there's one more tournament for me for the season in November. If I could go, great. If not, practice. I have been going once a week in the Long Island Footgolf League, and I've been playing once a week. So I'll just get better from time comes, and then that's it. But um, that's pretty much I have to say about the teams, about Team USA, Team UK, about the Jensen Cup, and also the World Cup. Um, and I know last time we are trying to make it. I know the committee have been trying to make it as an Olympic sport for 2014 in Paris. So that's going to be a push, but there's another 4 more years. Yeah, 5 more
Wait,
years.
you mean 2024?
Yeah, 2024. Yep, in Paris. So there's time to talk
We'll
about
see.
that.
We'll
Yeah.
see if that happens. Yeah.
Um, this is a good way.
I was like, I heard about foot golf from you, of course.
Hmm.
And that was even a couple months ago, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like when we started this podcast, maybe a little bit before that.
Hmm.
But do you? This is like out of left field. Do you see any players who are lefties? Like, do you
Yes.
see a bunch of
Yes.
lefty players? Okay. And does that change the dynamic of like how they play, or?
Yeah. I'm actually learning to hit with my left foot in certain holes, not like my drive.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Your
It all
drive.
depends on how like the course is designed. Like It could be that they have like the tee is right next to a big bush that like protrudes out, and it could be on your right. So in order to hit it with your right, you have to hit it outside of your foot or hit it dead center straight.
Right.
So a lot of people, what they do, they try to hit it with their lefty to get out, and then really their approach, and then after they get out of that with their lefty, it's different. Or like different hills. If the hill is on your right side, you want to hit it spinning clockwise, so it kind of like not like doesn't carry over, but it kind of like goes straight on the hill with because of the spin and the incline of the hill, how it meets. It
So if
actually
your hill is on your right side, you want to spin it clockwise?
like you want to hit the ball with enough spin that it will go straight, not like kind of like goes up and like comes down. So you want to get maximum amount of distance, right, to the hill. Depends on where you are, but um, let's just say if you're far enough, you want to get over the hill, and your best approach is basically to go around the hill, not like directly straight up. Um, so a lot of people, what they do though,
How would you go around the hill though? Because wouldn't the ball roll down the hill?
well, it depends on how the hill. So like, let's just say if you're going straight on, like if you're straight behind the hill, then you go straight up, right?
Right. Yeah.
But let's just say you're on to the left, and like you want to curl it, like put some curves on it. Instead of trying to like make the curve and trying to hit it, you could do it that way, or add enough spin, hit it with your outside of the foot, and so it kind of like goes clockwise, and it kind of like breaks the hill, so it goes straight when it goes up the hill, so it doesn't give you that not mad motion, but the whole like bell curve motion on it.
Okay.
And
So
it
if
will
you're kicking
travel.
with the outside of your foot on your right foot, that
I'm
makes
just saying
drop.
that's it. That yes.
Right. Yeah.
In that scenario, a lot of people's like, okay, I'm going to hit with my lefty, so it still gives you that nice clockwise spin, but it's different.
Yeah. But people who kick with their right are more comfortable with their right, right? Even if it is the outside of your foot.
Exactly. So yeah, so then that's what I'm wearing. Like, so that's another key thing on that course, on that like type of shots that you have to worry about. There is some lefties, but also like I'm trying to learn my left to use it because it can come easier in a pinch when you really do need it. Because it depends on the course design.
Yeah, it definitely seems more niche, but then like niche, but then when you
But
need
we're
it,
in the right
you
side. We're in a right world. A lot of people makes for right-handed stuff or right foot stuff. So, but learning left foot, it won't hurt you. It will only benefit you, in especially courses like that. But yeah, that's enough from the Footgolf world. It's good. I just want to see how the Footgolf committee is going to make it into the next year, where it's going to be, how many days, what the itinerary is, as well as the next big thing besides World Cup, if the Olympics is going to be a good thing about it. So it's only time to tell. And now it's just getting back onto the course and practice. But that's enough over here by me on my end about the news about Footgolf. So
yeah, I just want to mention that I noticed here that the German Cup is called the Kaiser Cup, the Kaiser Cup. Yeah,
oh,
it's a funny name, because Kaiser comes from Caesar.
Yeah.
And
The Leader Cup.
Yeah.
Or is it Caesar? Yeah, but yeah, it depends on like they call it like some different stuff right now. Depends on where you are and how they want to call it. So each tournament, or it could be it could be that, or actually it could be like whatever. Could be like the Capital One Cup or the.
Well, since I'm in Japan right now, and obviously there's Japanese players, does that mean there's like a league here and I could join if I actually signed up for it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
That you could just go on like the Japanese Footgolf and see where you play, and try out the sport as well. I encourage it. Try out the sport so when you do come back, we could play together.
All right. sounds great.
So yeah.
All right. Well, if that's all you've got for us today, then wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to our podcast, Trading Brains here. Just hanging out, talking about, whatever subject fancies us.
Mm-hmm. Give us a like, subscribe.
Yes,
Or any topics that you want us to talk about as well.
Yes, send them in comments, like YouTube comments, or if you have our social media accounts, just hit us up.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm always posting, so comment on those. And we're just happy to be here doing this. It's a lot of fun.
Exactly.
So thanks again for listening.
Peace out, guys.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.